Peasant Productions presents the math of ESP, why it works, even if you don't believe in it. As I'm explaining with this Occupy ISS situation, you know, my one-man revolution, okay? A viral video nowadays, on average, has been around for anywhere from probably 2 to about 5 or 6 years or more before enough people see it to actually get it out there and make it viral. News stuff is a little different. You know, you got war, you got earthquakes or something like that that, you know, produces something quite quickly that you know, for a very short period of time is a viral video. And also in a very short period of time from its initial videoing on. The idea of having a miracle happen is very much, by and large, what I'm trying to do here, okay? Technically, the spiritual realm has asked me, after keeping my mouth shut and playing, you know, down undercover, going in, seeing the dirt, the filth, the disgustment, the corruption, whatever, and then getting my butt out alive. You know, not something a lot of people do. A lot of people go into dangerous places and they get themselves killed attempting to expose something, and then of course you just have them as the martyr. As religion would have it, there would be a martyr, okay? A person died for their cause. To actually make something happen for me, to go, and first off, I'm not, like I said, I'm not into collecting followers. I'm not into trying to make, you know, big numbers of friends on Facebook and all this kind of stuff, which is what it takes to have to make something go viral, to make something really happen. Occupy ISS. Now, like I said, you have all of this stuff. There's nothing you can do here to deny that this is in existence. Okay, Fukushima happened. Nobody has done anything about it. It is just simply over there in the corner off to one side. From the 1930s, 2018, you have nuclear reactors running and nuclear fuel being dumped into the oceans, and mine shafts, and old caves, and bunkers, you know, anything anywhere that the governments can do to get this stuff out of sight, because they don't have an answer for how to handle it, okay? So you have all of that nuclear fuel. In almost every case, okay, you have what is, I guess you'd have to say, long-term for humans to think about, in short time to think about in the life cycle of radiation. Radiation is talked about in a half-life, okay, which means if you have a pound of nuclear fuel in front of you, in, say, 1,000 years, half of that nuclear fuel has died. In another 1,000 years, you don't have the whole thing dead. You have another half of what was left dead. So that pound, it becomes a half pound, it becomes a quarter pound, it becomes an eighth of a pound, and on down the line, okay? So it takes many, many thousands of years to go away. If you look into it, you'll see that most nuclear reactor waste fuel containment systems are based on the idea of about 20 to 25 years before they breach containment. And you are once again with that. On something that has a half-life of, say, 10,000 to 100,000 years, yeah. So you have nothing you can do about this. This waste is here, it's everywhere, it's going to continue to be here and be a problem. The coal and the oil and the mining pollution, you know, digging gold out of the ground, digging diamonds out of the ground, digging copper, digging aluminum, digging tin, all of that stuff exposes the soil, changes your overall environment, because if you tear down a mountain, or you go inside and you hollow everything out, things change. It happens. It's natural. There's nothing you can do about it. Plus, as you're bringing all of that material out, there's a lot of waste you don't know what to do with, so you're just dumping mercury and lead and, you know, toxic metals and stuff that you aren't mining for into the rivers and the water supply, and in some cases actually, you know, like the coal, actually dumping huge amounts of carbon dust into the air and coal ash dust into the air because you have nothing else you can do with it. You have the same behavior with farming. If you don't know what to do about something, you just cover it over and put something else there. The factory farming of pig, cows, especially, well, actually I should say the pigs, the chickens, the turkeys, those three in particular, some of the other game animals and stuff, rabbits and stuff like this. The factory farming for food has an issue where, you know, they've got, you know, 1,000 pigs in a barn, and they're all in little cages where they can't do anything but just lay there and eat and poop and pee. And all that poop and pee gets, you know, literally hosed down and out the door and down a trough and into a big pond. That fecal material is then oftentimes just sprayed in the air to get rid of it, to cause it to evaporate quicker. Yeah, go ask the African Americans about how wonderful it is living downwind of those factory farms. They get it a lot. You don't get it much in white communities yet. You will, but you know, that kind of stuff goes on. So you have all these things going on. You have all these pollutions that are going in, the chemical factories, the medical. Again, remember all that pig and chicken and turkey and cattle and stuff like that. Because there's so many animals crammed into small spaces, especially where the, you know, just the barns of animals in pens, you know, like the chickens for eggs and chickens for food and the pigs. There's stuff around full of antibiotics, which they pee and poop out. And then that gets sprayed into the air, and you've got all that extreme abundance of antibiotic going out into your air, and you wonder how all this resistant bacteria is just showing up in weird places. Yeah, you're literally creating it on yourself. The microplastics and stuff, again, you can't change anything, okay? It's all there. So I can go all the way down this list. This is all stuff. It's out there. It's happening. There's nothing you can do about it. The virus and bacteria on this planet are all over the place. There's nothing you can change about that. Now, if I was a religious person, and I'm gonna tell a fun little parable here in a second. I would probably run to my church and, oh, Christ, please save us from all of this stuff. Okay. And then, having said their prayers, they you know, toss a couple coins in the bucket and walk out the door. Or they might walk up and ask one of the preachers or priests or clergy members, or light a candle, you know, or ask the priest to light a candle for them, or to say an extra prayer for them, and stuff like this, okay? But other than that, they don't do a whole lot more. Now, I'm a miracle worker. I understand how it works. I understand what's going on. And to emphasize the difference between what I am and what most of your sleeping world out there is. There's a old story about the I love Jesus type of person that I'm going to have to say I've heard it from at least the 1960s. Okay, I was born in the end of the 50s there, so somewhere around there, I did get to hear a few odds and ends of stories of people laughing about Jesus freaks. The parable basically goes like this. There's this farmer, he's in the Midwest, he's got all this land, and yeah, you're flooding over there these days, isn't it? And rains come in, you know, he hears the weather reports that it's going to get pretty bad. The civil defense people come out and tell him, hey, you're in a flood zone. We got issues. It might, you know, the river might break. Its banks here and flood you out and all. You really should pack your bag and stuff and go. Oh no, Jesus will save me. Christ will take care of me. My God will protect me. I don't care who your God is. Okay, this parable goes to all of you to go. My God will protect me. So they sit there and they say, okay, fine, sir, whatever, and they hop back in their vehicles and drive away. And the rain starts falling and falling and falling, and pretty soon, you know, everywhere he looks, there's big, you know, big pools starting to, you know, his fields are turning into big pools of water and stuff like this. And, you know, some emergency vehicles come by and he turns them down, you know, and then, you know, it rains more and pretty soon it's flooded, you know, and he's starting to look at the fact that the sandbags around his house aren't tall enough to do any good, and it's still, you know, the water's still rising, getting closer to the house, and a boat comes by and he goes, oh, no, Christ is going to save me, my God's going to take care of me. You know, same as he's been telling everybody, you know, and you know, pretty soon he's up on the roof because the water's flooded his house. The helicopter comes by, oh no, my God's going to save me. And, you know, lo and behold, sure, the man drowns. And he's up there and he's standing in front of, and I guess the funny way of me, you know, I'm Peter, so, you know, St. Peter, you know, hey, you know, God, why didn't you come save me? I prayed to you all my life, and I was waiting for you to come save me. God kind of looks at the guy and says, well, let's see. I sent the civil defense, some friends, a boat, military big, you know, jeeps and stuff, a helicopter. Where did I not try for you, human? And yeah, that's where it boils down to. If you have all of these problems here, you got somebody that isn't even as smart as I am running around telling you that there's a problem, you should go look at it. And you all, oh no, my God's going to save me. Jesus is going to take care of me. One of the biggest things I see right now as I go around to all these different sites and checking on stuff is they're all this, praise the Lord, Jesus is coming, he's going to take care of us. Yeah, they're all waiting for somebody else. In my case, Operation Snowball, Occupy ISS, International Space Station here, I am, you know, affronting the entire world to get off their butt and do something. I'm giving the knowledge out, I'm putting stuff out, I'm making things happen. And I'm putting myself in the position to actually make something happen and be there. When opportunity knocks on the door, it doesn't always knock 3 times, okay? You get a quick little rap on the door to let you know you got 30 seconds to get out the building. It's not the time to hit the snooze button and say that, you know, you're going to wake up in 5 minutes, you'll worry about it then. Okay? I grew up in Southern California, earthquakes and stuff, so yes, I do know what it is like to wake up and know imminently that there's about to be an earthquake and prepare myself for it, okay? Getting out there and being prepared for opportunity to knock. Getting out there and putting yourself in the position of making this happen. You know, you have this whole philosophy of making it happen. So you're already in the mindset, remember, we're in a mindset under here, okay, of having the energy behind it. Okay, I've got the positive energy. I'm doing this because I'm trying. Not because I'm going to succeed. There is the letdown, the little bit of depression, sure. But there's not the, oh my God failed me. No, it's the understanding. I'm doing this, I'm doing everything I can. It's a miracle. We're trying to formulate and create a miracle. So the energy is going into it. You know, the faith is going into it up here. The motion of putting myself out, making these videos, you know, putting them up on the internet, you know, sending them around to people to hear and all. It's all there. I'm doing my part, and lo and behold, maybe, just maybe, a miracle happened, and in a couple of months from now, I'm going to be actually getting ready to scoot up into space and start putting this kind of stuff together, because society, you know, when you start having all these, you need to look at what isolationism is during medical emergencies, and you'll find that people will shut themselves down very quickly, and they will shoot anything that moves to kill you or themselves or whatever. So keep thinking, but you know, watch how a miracle grows.